All right, more failure. I cut the tip of the bolt off, like I said, and I've been an hour and a half. You can kind of see I've got all the tools in the world. The big gun, well, the big gun needs some kind of blade that's better than what I got. The housing on the in the bushing is harder than my blades, and it's just taking the teeth right off the blades, so that's not helping. The Dremel was working, actually. The Dremel was doing good, really well, but it's actually too small, so it can't reach far enough down to finish the job. So at least I know what I got to do now. I'll get an air grinder or something with a much bigger wheel that I can get in there with and really cut that off on the inside. But I did at least get it far enough to understand that when you look at it, I'm cutting on the inside. You can see the yellow powder from where I'm doing. I did drive the bolt back in. I cut it off when I pulled it back, so it's actually out of the hole in the back. I just got to get it off on this side. I'm trying to cut down on the inside. Flashlight's in the way. I'm trying to cut it down on the inside, so I should be able to lift this out when I'm done. Like I said, though, these blades, this was just a contractor pack blade at DeWalt's that I bought, and they're nowhere near hard enough. I need to get some diamond blades. Maybe I'll go look for a diamond blade for it. Or like I said, get the high-speed grinder wheel on the air gun. Man, I'll tell you, this is really a pain. If you're gonna do this job yourself, unless you're somewhere with no rust and you just got high wear, but you got rust of any kind of corrosion, I highly recommend you have a torch, which is what everybody else kind of said, that you're in for a very difficult fight if you don't have a torch, and I don't. I'm into it now. Jacks was dropped, bolts off. I got to finish what I started, so whatever I got to do, I'll do to get that out of there. I mean, worst comes to worst, I guess I can call somebody with a torch to come over here and cut that thing out of there. But wow, this is prepare yourself if you're going to do this job yourself. This is not an easy job. You'd think it's just bolts and unbolt and rebolt, which maybe under normal circumstances it is, but when you got as much salt as we have in the Northeast, you're in for a hell of a fight to get these bolts out of here. Is what it is. I'm going to keep on going. Hopefully I learn enough off doing the first one that the rest of them don't take as long. I certainly am not going to spend the time I did on that side trying to get that out. Once I find a method to get that cut out and broken off, that's exactly what I'm going to do for the rest of them. I'm not going to dick around with it. All right. Corrosion may have won the first couple of battles, but I win in the war. Got the first one out. And what you can see here is happening. The bolt inside the bushing, the metal sleeve, is just rusted in there to the point where I couldn't pull the bolt out. I had to cut it, but that metal bushing is very hard. What was happening was that was spinning inside this rubber sleeve, so that's why I couldn't twist the bolt out. But my plan to cut it off and drive it back and forth on the bushing worked. I got enough room, cut it off. What I found was just the bimetal blades I had, the DeWalt's just weren't going to get it done. So between the Dremel and doing a little bit of cutting, and I went ahead and I bought some Milwaukee carbide torch blades, and that got through it. That seemed to be the trick. Now that I know what I'm getting into, when I go to get the other side off, if it starts to even mess around looking like I'm going to have that problem, I'm going to just cut it off like I just did on this one. I'll do the same process. It won't take me nearly as long now that I've got the proper cutting tools and what I need, so it should go considerably quicker when I do this side. I didn't really have much of anything in the way on that side. I should look. I don't think I have any fuel tank line issues. Looks like I'm clear of everything on this side, so I should be okay when I get up under there. I did pick up I picked up a used out of a salvage skid plate for my fuel tank today. I was lucky I found that. Found a used one for a reasonable price. Has a little bit of rust in it I'm going to address. Nothing like this one. I got on here and started tapping on it, and it proceeded to just drop big chunks out. That's coming off. Oh, there's no way I'm reusing that. So as long as I'm under taking everything apart, that's going to come out too. I don't know if I can do that with these jack stands here or not, but that'll be as soon after this project is done with the springs. So I'm glad I got that one out. Moving along, you can tell from the last video, last night I was really pretty frustrated with where I was, but we're now on the move again. So I'm happy about that. All right, so next, what's up next? Next, besides cleaning the shop up because I've made a mess trying everything I'm doing, will be the B modified, taking the bottom 2 leaves off of this, putting it on this new spring pack, taking all the spacers out of this, replacing it into that one. It's all these, let's set it down here. It's hard to see because it's dirty, but you can see all the metal spacers in here. I've got the new bolt. You take the bolt out. This leaf and this leaf go on the bottom of the spring pack in here below the overload, and then you put in the spacers, and that'll give you the space that we're looking for when we do that. So that will be tomorrow night's project. We'll get one done. I might even put it back on the truck just to get it out of my way, and then we'll tackle this next side and see what kind of fun we can have. My bump stops on both sides, I've noticed, are long gone. Not quite sure what's going on. Frame's all in good shape under here, so that's nothing but a little bit of paint peel from where I'd done before. It's not really rust, but the bump stops rotted off. I'd replaced them before. I'm wondering if I can get away with using my overload bump stops from the Excursion springs. I don't know. I don't know if they're as tall as those other bump stops had been, but I've got no use for them. They were the good energy poly ones that I put in there back when, the urethane ones. Hate to waste them, so maybe I'll put them in there. Can't be any worse than having nothing. So, okay, that's it for tonight. All right, quick project today. I'm going to get ready to do this B modified job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up one of these springs with the old ones here. I'm going to dismantle the old one, and the bottom 2 leaves are going to get painted, as are all of the spacers. So I'm going to get everything, rust prepped and painted, and make it all look nice and black like the new ones. And then, excuse the mess, this is still a disaster from all the work I was doing to get that out. Then this whole area underneath here, I'm going to go ahead and scrape and paint and get everything prepped under here while it's up in the air and everything's out of the way. We'll get some rust treatment and everything on it. It's not bad now. There's still a lot of treatment on it from when I did it 10 years ago. But time to do it again. I think I mentioned in the last video that I have a new bucket for the skid plate bucket for my tank. I managed to find a used one. It's not too bad. There's a little bit of repair I'll do on it, but certainly nothing like mine. And then that'll be another part of the project. So time to press on. Oh, as long as I'm thinking about it. Hopefully all I have to do is clamp this, take out the bolt, and knock this apart and get the bottom 2 leaves off. Still think I'm going to reuse that. So, all right, press on. All right, a little something nobody noted when I was looking at the B modified instructions, and that's what I've got the bolt out now. You're taking all these plates. All right, you're going to be using them on the new springs, and in between, because they don't have any spacers at all, you're going to be using these spacers. The one thing that wasn't mentioned is this bottom plate has ears on it. So that's the very, very bottom one, has ears. It's like an alignment almost. So I didn't want to forget that, so I wanted to get it on video. Had no trouble getting the bolt out. A little bit of air wrench and a little bit of PB blaster, and she unscrewed right out. Just held the other end with a vice grip. Didn't give me any trouble. Unlike getting the spring out. So I wanted to make a note of that, either for the video or at least for myself anyway, that this bottom plate is different than all the other plain flat ones, and that definitely goes against the bottom, against the overload. All right, so I'm going to take these out, going to clean them all up real good, spray them down. The bottom two leads are going to get wire brushed, and I am going to paint them up real good with chassis black and get them so they look like they belong with the other ones.